Hello. Welcome back. We're gonna start where we left off in the Hawkins mansion. Let's enter the madness. Dang, Lawrence. That was quick.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Let's go down.
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
Except I'm pretty sure Bradley's dead, so this might all be in my head.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things
Hey, Golden
I can't
Archer.
explain.
Tell us. What happened?
Oh, I can't choose that because I don't have enough in professionalism or occultism. Talk to Bradley.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
Great, that was all a vision.
That's possible.
It seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital, and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
Dang it. I was hoping to get more out of that. Bradley's done. I can't do that. Talk to Colden.
Given the energy
Let's find
he
more about
pours into
Riverside.
Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything
You probably
else?
should.
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
Let's get her
It makes sense.
out of the way.
A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes. I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
Well, at least someone's listening. What else do we have?
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller, and a nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs, the pain, I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something. I woke up at the Institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
I feel like it's not. I almost might actually be a psychiatric patient at this point, and they're just trying to make sure I don't go onto some crazy bender and kill people.
You know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
I'm gonna sound crazy, but I might as well try and tell the truth.
But something was there, with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say?
Well,
That's
that gets me
probably how
somewhere.
they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
We don't know the bottom of it.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death
Oh, great.
and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the
I
hospital.
didn't realize that was going to affect my destiny.
I'll do my best.
If I would have known that, I probably would have made the decision a little slower.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Guess I'm just gonna leave. Come on. You can do it. Load. Oh, I'm just jumping right there. Okay.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
Our paths crossed, briefly. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker.
Hmm.
This way,
Why
Mr.
is she
Pierce.
here?
And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
I have much to gain from your husband's office, probably.
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
I'm gonna say I was no longer there.
We
when
had a
it
short
happened.
conversation and then I left. I don't know what happened after that.
Oh, I see. Mr. Pierce, you must forgive my audaciousness, but I've had practice of life in high society for over 30 years. Reading one's interlocutors, recognizing the politeness of a lie, are things that are taught very early to young girls from a good family.
Great.
But your lie has nothing polite about it. It is crass, insulting, and dare I say, terribly suspicious. Try to understand my position. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute?
Oh, so she knows?
And right before your eyes. Did you not do anything to help him?
Oh, God. I didn't expect to get caught in a lie.
It's terrible what happened to your husband, but I had nothing to do with it. I was injured, and I came across him in the hospital quite by chance.
Injured? Well, I'm delighted to see you in such fine fettle, Detective. Not everybody enjoyed such a prompt recovery.
I suppose Fuller does do miracles now and again.
Luck is obviously very kind to you. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
We'll
How
start
did you
here.
come to meet Sarah Hawkins?
We were the wealthiest and most influential families on Darkwater. Of course we would know each other. And when Charles returned from Europe with his sweet little artist, she and her sinister paintings were destined to catch my husband's eye. He bought many of her works over the last 5 years. They adorn his macabre gallery.
Did your husband talk
Right.
to you about
So he
Sarah
became a
Hawkins'
fan.
visitor?
Love at first sight.
Shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery, No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Great. I should have just told the truth.
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
How dare I lie? I'm just gonna tell the truth for the rest of this game.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? A house of artists. A house of artists. Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Perhaps his demise?
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She didn't want Sanders to have the painting. She must have felt devastated. Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
Oh, now I can... Okay. There we go.
The Shambler. I need to see it.
He clawed his own eyes out.
Did she really care for him after all?
In which you demand the body of your deceased husband. I'm sorry to inform you that I cannot agree to return his body to you at the moment of his interment. You signed a discharge, allowing me to dispose of his body as I see fit. I extend my deepest condolences to you, Thomas Fuller. What a dickweed. Dang it.
Is this dagger part
Wait, what?
of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it?
This is a collection written by Francis Sanders. In it, he categorizes objects from all ages and origins that are linked to occult or mystical practices. It's opened at the page of a dagger that bears a symbol that is not unknown to me. Okay. I didn't think... I just was playing with the piano. I like this. Oh, what was I doing? Oh, I was getting eloquence up. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I want to do. Didn't think I'd have that much. Slowly losing my sanity. I gotta try and keep it all. Pardon me for being so greedy with my sanity. Oh, knowledge. Just gonna explore this house to the best of my ability. See what comes from it.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Do I do this now? Yeah, I'll just do it now. What's she gonna do? Kick me out?
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Do I get paid to burn it? I'll burn it. There's probably more cylinders then. If it's letting me look at it like that.
A strange Amerindian pendant. I could use one of those.
More sleeping pills.
Strange.
Dear Francis.
For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting,
Owning.
to finally give it away for
If
nothing.
friendship has any meaning for you, please spare me the weight of guilt. I cannot be the architect of your fall. I beg you, my dear friend, forget the shambler. Your friend, Sarah Hawkins. Well, she caved, so she kind of is the
An old
architect.
diary.
Wickwood's community's wife expressed her worries about the strange dreams that the Reverend's congregation are having since their arrival on the island. Some members of the community, her husband included, began to speak of their vision as a messenger sent by God. She is scared that they will suffer the same fate as the lost tribe. Why was that a strength? Also, what is my strength? Hold on. Anatomical question. Pierce. I'm getting better at. What is this? I'll read it. It's a kind of encyclopedia of monstrous and unknown creatures. I'm beginning to believe that they exist. What, as I become more proficient with the occult, I have a darker fall? Is that it? Oh shit, my sanity did drop. Oh no. Treatise the Malleus Bestiarium. This bestiary makes an inventory of numerous creatures from the occult world of parallel dimensions. The very nature of its knowledge makes it an unholy book. By reading it, Pierce lost some of his sanity. Great. All mental trauma. I am but a beacon of trauma. Why am I doing this to poor Pierce? It's not my fault. I'm just trying to learn about the game. And you.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
Another painting by
Another
Sarah
painting
Hawkins.
by Sarah Hawkins. One connected to the horrors I've discovered on this island.
What a surprise. I'm listening.
You know what?
And you,
We're gonna go tit for
what
tat
brings
here.
you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say? Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder. Go take a hike, Detective.
Fine. Goodbye. Okay, so not all of these have...
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Holy cow. You weren't joking about him being a collector.
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery. The public entrance to the gallery.
Oh. Definitely feel like I will find something here of use to me aside from the Shambler.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
'Cause
Why
they
was he so
all
interested
got
in
this
old weapons?
Symbol. See? What's this? Oil. Uh-oh.
Why was he so interested
I
in
already did
old
that.
weapons?
It's actually kind of hard to tell what I've gone for. So I got 2 things of oil in here. That can't be good. Great. Can we chill with the extra dimensional monsters?
What the hell was that? I can't even touch her.
Ooh. Thank you, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. Go, 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 go. Oh, shit. That wasn't it. Skip.
What the hell was that?
What's my new objective?
What the hell was that?
Where is it? Please don't. But running like the wind is what's getting me killed.
What the hell was that?
Does light have effect on you? Nope. Light does not have any effect on you.
What the hell was that?
just sitting here for a few minutes? Not even a few minutes, probably a few moments. Or maybe I try and set the painting on fire? That can't be it. Can it? What a giant baby. That's it. I'm setting the painting on fire. So help me God.
This painting. There has to be a link.
No.
Maybe if I destroy it.
That's what I'm working on.
Came out of this painting. There has to be a link.
I'm working on it.
Maybe if I destroy it.
Wait, a knife, perhaps?
Down.
Shit. You're a dead man now.
What the hell was that? Down. Maybe I can use this dagger.
Which door are you coming from? I just gotta get to the painting before you get to me.
Damn it! This dagger didn't.
Dang it. I understand. I have to choose the right dagger.
What the hell was that?
I actually think I know exactly which one it is, too.
Down. Maybe I can use this dagger.
Nope, not that one. Well, this is certainly easier now.
What the hell was that?
This one.
Down. This dagger looks different.
Shit. Oh, this is definitely it. I'm right. There we go. Ears.
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Perhaps.
Sanders was right. This painting is cursed.
What are you talking about?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
The creature. This dagger was the only weapon capable of pushing it back. This antique dealer has a good knowledge of the occult. I have nothing to lose by meeting him.
You've got your spunk back. Go where you want. I'm staying here to talk business with Irene.
Probably could have gotten more information out of that if I'd done the order a little better. So I need occult weapons. That's not good. In fact, that is not good at all. Before I get too far. Yep, that's what I want. Guess I'm gonna go insane.
Where is the bookseller?
More importantly, where is my books of medicine? I know there's at least
An
one
old
here.
diary.
Pastor declared himself to be the prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with a monstrous appearance. So I've tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced that he must listen to this voice in his head because it holds the truth. That's a shame. Darkwater history. Puritan colony led by Reverend John Wickwood. Settled on the island during the 17th century. They named the island Darkwater because of the dark shades of the sea. They believed it was because of the peculiar color of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which were the Hawkins Manor, the church, and the cemetery. The rare documents and handwritten notes spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviors. They disappeared at the beginning of the 18th century. So a long, long history of all of this. Got it. Chalice. In the 19th century, as the American whaling industry reached its peak in the rest of the world, whales gradually disappeared from the water surrounding Darkwater. This phenomenon appears even more mysterious because up till then, the region was a favored refuge for cetaceans. In 1847, after months of pursuit, Scylla returns to port with a gigantic creature on board. Its crew asserts that the sea monster had eaten all the disappeared whales. After a night of ferocious combat, the survivors managed to drag the beast onto the whaling ship. Okay. More oil. There's the medicine. I'm either lacking or missing some. And there's another medicine book.
What does the
Let's just see where
strange
this
book
go.
contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
Great. Why am I doing this to poor Pierce?
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
No one has ever. Damn, I thought they didn't exist. This book, discovered in the names of Darkwater, could be as much a fake as irrefutable proof of Blavatsky's sincerity. Now I feel like I should keep looking. Go back through with the lamp.
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
See? 3 medicine books. Yeah, I'm going back through everything, because you would think I would have noticed these when I looked up. Maybe it's just the fact that I have the light out. I'm getting there. Getting pretty decent at medicine. Alright, let's go around this. Just keep an eye out.
What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work. Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably. This burglar seems to be rather clumsy. What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What killed all these animals? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
What the... Charles Hawkins?
Weird.
What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is
Clearly.
linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
Wait, now you just sound paranoid. But, I mean, you're definitely entitled to it.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills? What link did
I
he
believe
find
it.
between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
Key of Rayleigh. This key that bears the Elder Sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylindrical medallion hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and the branch, whose purpose is to push back the force of the great old ones, were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor, the date of the robbery coincides with the last of the Hawkins trips off to Cairo. It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it.
What a strange amulet. I have a feeling I'd better not touch it.
But you touched
Drake
it.
left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Whereas there will be no doubt that I am in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still in this plane of reality. In order that they be recovered and burned, the funeral urn must be given to my dear mother if she is still of this world. The following message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity as sharp as mine can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. It lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination are to be found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as the celebrated author says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Indeed, despite my preference for organized chaos, I must admit that reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say a genius, was to match my intellect and find the combination of the safe, I would ask that they deliver its content into the safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University. The content of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope that you will be able to appreciate the danger that this represents and that you will act accordingly. In any event, I will neither be there to guide you nor to suffer from your actions. So, 3 cylinders. Am I like a professional yet?
Arkham editions. Never heard of him.
Written by Hermes. It's translated by Nathaniel M. Coppelius. This collection of texts on different beliefs was written by a legendary philosopher. It includes a translation of the Emerald Tablet, popular text among 16th century alchemists.
How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Edition. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. Things are not looking good.
Now I get to comment on that?
A kind of chalice. A kind of chalice.
And that. Let's see what else I can comment on that wasn't around.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Probably. Let's do that. Cylinder 1.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham Editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Let's listen again.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Something with this.
The Chalice of Knowledge. The Chalice of Knowledge.
Let's do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Right? I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 and 5? Can I go to 55? was next? It was the chessboard.
The Queen has little protection.
Next to no protection. One, two, three, four, five, six. But only... But only one is threatening her.
What did Drake say about this collection?
Volume 9.
Drake talked about a particular volume.
That's 5.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his... What did Drake say about this collection?
5, 6, 7, 8.
Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume.
And yet I don't see it. 1, 2, 3.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
6.
Drake talked about a particular volume.
8.
So these are the volumes that Drake was
4.
talking about in his... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume.
Is it like 1-9 or something?
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
I think this would be volume 9.
The Chalice of
How many
Knowledge.
purples are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Would that be like, oh, one, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The Chalice of Knowledge.
I missed it. Does each green one have one?
The Queen has little protection.
Let's listen to these again.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Okay, so I think the first number is 5.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Okay.
Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Is it maybe like 539? Shit. I was right. Oh no. Trippy. Oh no, not back at the... Wait, a book covered in human skin lied inside, irresistibly attracted the detective. When he opened it, his mind was projected into another body. Oh no. This is no good. No good.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Did you inject him with a tranquilizer?
No, Doctor. Not me, not anyone. Our stock is empty, yet again.
Again? But there was enough for the whole island.
More and more people are suffering from insomnia. We can't refuse to help.
Of course.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Very well. I'll examine him. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin. Tender at the touch. Slightly sticky. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
In the head.
30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
Dang.
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation.
Wait a minute.
You have to.
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
Is he turning into an octopus?
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
Nope.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
These are alarming symptoms. If we don't act, he'll die.
Do you believe that? I'm not as convinced, you see. I even think this man has a strong chance of completely healing from his ailments.
No, Doctor. This patient isn't himself anymore. He's dying.
Really? What do you mean by isn't himself?
He's changing. His physical characteristics, they are more animal than human now.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
So she knows he's up to something.
What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there
Nope.
no evidence of his crimes?
I disapprove of Fuller's methods, but his treatments have saved more lives than I can count.
And Mr. Blake? You said yourself he was dying.
I don't know what to think for now. What I'm sure of is that Fuller is hiding something from us, and I need to know what that is before I take a chance exposing him.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep mum.
Yeah, and what's the diary? Get into Fuller's office. Oh, God. You are so going to become an experiment.
An unknown medicine. Judging by the other ones, it causes heavy side effects. This place draws you in and never lets you go. The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office. The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office.
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays. What a pest. It's so unfair.
Elizabeth? You all right? Why is this room in such a state?
Because, as always, I'm cleaning it by myself. And the water was once again shut off this morning. I had to bother Mrs. Donovan again, giving her a new excuse to belittle me.
Do you really need Mrs. Donovan to open a valve? Why not ask the janitor?
I can't make
why?
these decisions without her approval. Imagine if there were a leak. Anyhow, the boiler room is locked half the time. So every time the water gets shut off, I have to go and endure her reproach until she's settled the problem.
I see.
Oof.
Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Doctor.
Let's see what else I can find.
It's temperamental, if I understand correctly.
There's so much to explore.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctors who have things to do. Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into Dr. Fuller's office. But rest assured, I'll tell him you came by.
That won't be necessary. Thank you.
I will tell him, nonetheless.
I see. She is a problem.
No, you're pulling my leg. I'm not joking. I saw the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom.
The doses prescribed by Fuller are far too high.
Again. And she still says nothing to that old witch, Donovan?
Listen to the way you talk, you naughty girl. And the answer is no. You can imagine that she doesn't dare say a thing. That silly
We've been
goose lets
waiting to be
herself in
restocked for
trouble.
weeks.
Oh well, at least we won't have to clean for a while. And just wait and see the next time the water's cut off. It's a real show.
Oh, I feel so bad for what I'm gonna have to do.
Dr. Colden?
Doctor, please. My chest. Oh.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation.
Oh, how hard.
Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands. Hay fever. What's he doing here? He broke his back in an accident down by the docks.
Ah, the whaling station.
I feel like...
What's wrong with me?
What are you talking about?
Doctor, that you?
Yes, it's Dr. Colden. Tell me what happened.
It's the old whaling station. See?
The one that hides the smuggling business.
Oh no, not them. They don't go on that side of the island. Everyone in his place. The captain on one side, Cat on the other, and me. Well, I've been to the whaling station, I have.
What did you see there?
Nothing. Nothing at all. The floor was all rotten and I fell straight through.
And that's how you broke your back.
Perhaps. No idea. Passed out.
Great.
I'll just sleep a bit more.
Everyone here is so helpful.
Why did nobody tell me about her admission? Mrs. Sanders?
Wait, what happened to her? Well, as true as her full hand and a handwritten note, Hero can take her down to the psychiatric wing in order to provide her with the quiet and rest that she needs.
She recently came back from the surgical block. She's stable. Given her file, a nephrectomy would have been inevitable. But Fuller was able to save her kidney.
Fuller's doing some shady shit. I mean, I knew it, but damn.
The key to the boiler room. All I have to do is shut off the water and hope Donovan takes the bait.
Oh, that poor
Intoxication from breathing organic vapors. Another insomniac. I should find the cause for such a widespread trouble.
Sadly, you're working with said widespread trouble. His name is Dr. Fuller.
It's a quiet little town. Days go by, steady as ever. I wanted more for myself, but...
Okay, good. You're done.
I don't get why they have us waiting so long. Almost no patients here.
Where did my fiancée go? I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with work.
And what are you doing here?
Ethan,
Marie,
what are you doing here?
I'm waiting for my medication, of course. Why?
I thought we trusted each other.
Really, Marie? Can you swear to me that you're not intending something reckless?
It's because I respect you that I won't lie to you.
Is there something I should know?
You better tell me about your symptoms.
I have nightmares. They keep me awake every night. It seems stupid, I know, but they're terrible.
Actually, you're not the only one.
No. No one has ever seen the things I see. It's like I'm turning mad.
So many people have this affliction. It's like an epidemic.
Do you think it might be related to Fuller's work?
I don't know yet, but I will figure all this out.
Oh, it probably
Everyone
is.
in Darkwater is suffering from nightmares.
Really?
We don't have any medication left.
Oh. There's no excuse then. I should let you work.
Take care, Ethan.
You too, Marie.
Poor Ethan.
Dr. Colden.
Really? That's all you're gonna... That's all you have for me?
This man, Edward Pierce, his file is incomplete. What did Fuller do to him?
Great.
Dr. Colden, we need you at once in Dormitory B.
What is the problem?
Mr. Evans seems to be having trouble with his IV.
I've done an exam. Deborah is looking after him.
And the family of Mrs. Harding is asking to see her medical file.
I'll never understand why it's so hard to see patients' files around here.
Rules are rules. See, with Dr. Fuller, he's in charge. Anyhow, they're still waiting, and I don't think they'll leave until they get what they want.
Understood. Anything else?
As a matter of fact, yes. A man has been brought up from the basement.
Oh. What state is he in now?
You should go see for yourself, Doctor.
Dr. Fuller always keeps his key with him. In theory, this is where we hang the key to the boiler room.
Where did my fiancée go? I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with work.
Sorry, but nobody can take anything until I finish the inventory. Please, the fewer interruptions there are, the faster I'll be finished.
The operating room is never accessible after an operation.
Get in there. Okay, nothing in here before I do this.
I can't shut this with my bare hands. I need a tool.
Yeah, what tool do you need? Because I have loads of them somewhere.
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays. What a pest. It's so unfair.
What tool am I looking for?
Patients and hospital personnel eat the same food.
Probably for the worst, too.
Gentlemen, may I help you?
We're waiting on news regarding our mother, Maureen Harding. She came in with a kidney problem, but we haven't heard anything since.
I've tended to her, and I have good news. Her blood analysis is reassuring. Her kidneys are as new.
Are you talking about the same person? This is miraculous.
She's still recovering, but you may speak to her upon her awakening.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. We'll wait for her to wake up. We've been here since this morning, so it won't make a difference.
Where can I find this damn tool? Perhaps somewhere in here? After all, the key was here. There we go.
I feel guilty about Elizabeth, but I need the diversion.
Let me guess.
Dr. Colden, might there be a problem with the water?
I was about to mention it. It seems it's been cut off yet again.
I can't take this, Marie. I feel I'm gonna burst.
It's not your fault if we have defective plumbing.
And yet, I'm the one who gets punished because I'm gonna have to square off with that annoying old witch. Courage, Elizabeth. Here we go.
I am so
And hold
sorry.
your tongue this time.
At last. The missing files must be hidden here. Something is wrong with these masts. It's some sort of puzzle. I've unlocked something. Patient files. I was right. The Stendhal syndrome. Of course. This is where Fuller found his diagnosis for Francis Sanders.
Go chatter with your colleagues. That's what you do best.
I should go another way.
Okay, there we go.
Conclusions. Session number 17. Patient? Sarah Hawkins. The patient appears to have finally accepted the illusory nature of what she calls the mythos.
Why is Ethan on medication? Why does Dr. Fuller write psychological reports about Sarah Hawkins?
First, I presumed that her blood was the key. But I found nothing to explain Mrs. Hawkins' abilities.
Something over here.
This finger belonged to a woman. Why keep it here? The poor souls downstairs are not Fuller's only subjects.
She was too. Go figure.
James came. Irate that Charles was keeping secrets from him. I presume that he will try to break into the basement sooner or later. I am prepared.
Hawkins, Fitzroy, and Fuller. What is the connection between these three?
It is fortunate that I had the presence of mind to set the morgue in the basement. When all the fuss about the Hawkins incident finally comes to an end, I will dispose of her belongings. In the meantime, they must remain hidden in plain sight.
Of course. Sarah Hawkins is the connection. I must go back to the basement.
Into the psychiatric wing, which would be here. And this is how she becomes a person trapped down here.
Ah, now that's the Marie that I know. I knew I could count on your scientific curiosity. It's time to show you what you were so eager to discover.
Damn it. Poor Marie.
If you're gonna shoot me, at least have the decency to look me in the eyes.
Turn around. Slowly. Talk, filthy thief! Oh, I swear I'll shoot!
Take a minute to look around. Everything points to Charles Hawkins.
He's dead!
No. He was here for a very specific item.
Oh, no.
The book. Why was it in the safe?
Have you read it?
Answer the question.
How foolish of you. Now you won't be able to escape his will. What did it show you?
She went into Fuller's office. She was looking for Sarah Hawkins' corpse.
Sarah Hawkins, you say? Let's go back to the start, shall we? Whose life did the Necronomicon choose to show you?
Dr. Colden. She was at the Riverside Institute. She's in danger. I have to go.
Wait. No one knows the occult better than me. You might need my help.
All right.
Sure.
All right. I might need you after all.
Perfect. Let's meet later at the Hawkins mansion. Now go! Rescue the doctor!
Thank you, Drake.
Great. Can we not? I don't want to go back there. I didn't have a choice to fall into his trap or not. It just happened. Don't give me an achievement.
I pray that Colden is really here and alive.
Alright, let's clear out some of these exclamation points. Well, no, actually, here, let's throw those two there, two there. There. Now, going forward, no object in the game can hide from me. Now I just need to be better at eloquence. And my sanity is slipping faster than I could possibly keep it. Reverend Wickwood's wife, her husband John, built the first Hawkins home called Hilltop at the end of the 17th century. They were among the first white colonists of the island. The previous inhabitants disappeared mysteriously 3 centuries earlier.
An old diary.
Might as well.
What the... Fuller, too.
Really shouldn't be surprising.
The Scylla is here. Like in the vision. Colden came this way. How old is Fuller, really? Right. Enough time wasted. Colden needs me. I must find her.
Hey!
Oh! Hold on. If I was supposed to be sneaky, I'm gonna end it here for the night. So, Golden Archer, Lawrence, anyone else that gets to this point, thank you for watching. This was chapters 6 to 8 of Call of Cthulhu. So, like, comment, subscribe, tell me your theories on what's gonna happen in chapter 9. And I'll see you guys soon. I love you. Bye.